All right. So let me repeat myself. Man. Anyways, folks. So thank you all for being here. I truly appreciate you all being here this evening. And we're going to be diving into this topic tonight. And I'm watching because there's a delay from YouTube to me, and everybody's 5x5. Thank you guys. Truly appreciate that. I think this whole thing with the avian flu is being underreported. B, it's not being taken as serious as it should be. And I want to dive into it a little bit more in this discussion in regards to this topic, because of the fact that there's more pieces to this puzzle. And I want to show you guys a look at some different things. Now, so what we're going to do this evening is we're going to dive into the topic pretty much after I say a few hellos to some of you folks in chat. And towards the end of it, for you folks who like to sit here and listen to me talk for an hour, I'm going to go over what transpired for you folks who watched my Easter video, what transpired at the congregation when I spoke to the people at church in regards to emergency preparedness, how it fell with them, some of the questions they had, and where I think it may go. Also, we're going to touch on a couple other topics. I might jump over to a few other things depending if time allows. If not, I'll save it for another day, possibly Thursday's live stream. So should be an intriguing evening this night. And if you haven't had a chance to hit that thumbs up button, I truly appreciate that. And any folks coming across this on the replay, please, you might want to skip about 10 minutes while I say my hellos to this awesome community here on the live stream this evening. All right, so let me back this up a little bit. Back it up far. All right. So what's up, Mama Bear J15, Harvey Black, Oki Khan, TN Prepping Lady. Coffee first, then speak. Got my coffee. Hope everybody else has their coffee or tea, whatever you prefer. What's up, Barbara? Good to see you. Chet, as good to see you as well. Stuart. Let me see. Who else do we have this evening? I'm going to try to scroll as fast as I can so we can kind of get to the topic. The Biggs Prep. Hello. Let me see. Cindy Rice. Beretta is in the house as well. Quest Conquest. Almost got me with the tongue twister there. Voodoo Queen. Good to see you. And that's awesome, Voodoo Queen. Hopefully you don't mind me putting all that pressure you in the Discord. I want to send a lot of people your way because the knowledge you have is very vast and very important in regards to the Discord. All right, Lawrence, good to see you. One of our folks from overseas. Good to see you as well. Snakebite. Hello, Scott. I'm trying to make sure I don't miss anybody as I'm scrolling really fast through that. JT, Harvey, I say what's up to Harvey. Mitten is in the house. Let me see. Jan is in the house as well. Johnny, finance guy. All right. Little Miss Prepper, John Graves. Jan, good to see you, Jan. Awesome set of moderators this evening. We have some of the best in this community. JT, I know I got JT, Northern Girl. Let me see. Who else do I might have missed? I'm trying to scroll really fast. My eyes are not as good as they used to be. I think I said what's up to Carol, Silly Eagle, Empress Kimberly, Sinson 99, Teresa D. Let me see. Who else do we have here? Savage. Savage, their sound now. I'm finally coming up to where I was missing the sound. Celtic Prepper, YouTuber. Nice name, YouTuber. Minuteman 69, John Jones, North Cal. Voodoo, I'm pretty sure I said what's up to you as well. Sherry Leach. All right. Karen, Allison, Rena. Hope I don't miss anybody. If I do, Monty's in the house. Good to see you, Monty. John Graves, Jeray. Sherry Leach. PJB Burke from Houston, Texas. Karen, did you see the animals they were murdering in China? Yes, Karen, I did. There's some wild things going on in this country and in this world in general. Bland's Promised Ranch, good to see you as well. Jeff, fellow Floridian, Blue Moon, Melissa C., Ann Palmer, Bodai, the Bitter Critter, Richard Moore, Daniel, God is my judge, Oslander, Potato Head, Lady, Jacqueline, Bobby Arnett, TRC, Oki Prepper, John Graves, Melissa, Unbroken, Mark Witcher, Van Roo, CG in Texas, Bobby C. Bland, I got you, Van Roo, Poor Country Living, Ark Wildman, Think Outside the Box, Ethel, always good to see you as well. Oh, man. All right, Blue Moon, I think I got everybody. All right, hopefully if I missed you, I do apologize. I do want to get into this before we run out of time. Tuesday is a jam-packed evening where there's a lot of folks on the stream. All right, so folks, so 28 million chickens dead, and this includes turkeys as well. And there's also a sad part of this that I want to share with you that no one's talking about. I haven't seen it on any news. I've had to dig into articles to find this, something that represents we as Americans in this country that is happening, and it's poorly sad to read this. Anyways, let me, I want to, what do I got here? I got a couple quick notes. People have been asking me, 28 million, is that a big number? Is that a big number, Grey? And basically, so the information I found online, from what I could figure out, is the United States has a robust poultry industry with an inventory of over 518 million chickens and over 229 million turkeys, according to a 2019 survey. Now, I did read also that there is a combined value of production from broilers, eggs, turkeys, and the value of sales from chickens in 2020 was 35.5 billion. Now, that is a 11% drop from 2019. And from what I've read, it's also gone lower than that. So to kind of give you a rough idea of the chicken population or the poultry business in itself. Also, I want to share, I found a really good, I don't know if you guys watch this YouTube channel. I came across them in a different manner. Sorry, I had set something up so I can read chat when I bring this stuff up. In regards to that, and this is not going to work. And I wanted to share it with you guys. You guys know I am huge into sharing channels and whatnot. And so I want to bring them up. They have no idea who I am, but they have some good content. Some of you folks may follow this channel or not. I don't indulge myself in as much as into the prepper channels as I used to, being that I do this every day. I've been, some folks have even asked how long you've been prepping, Grey. And I said, it's roughly I'm going on my 17th year. Sorry about some of the stuff I have in the back. I'm just prepping in overdrive right now in regards to food. So I got buckets everywhere, food everywhere. Things are a little bit chaotic, but I'm working on getting it organized. And also towards the end of the stream, again, I will touch on the church. I will touch on a little bit what's update with the channel, medicinal Mondays and stuff like that. Anyways, let's get to it. Enough rambling on, and let's just get to it. So this is the channel I'm talking about. I should have posted somewhere where you guys can see the name, but I don't have it, but you guys can always look this up. It's called Yansa TV, right here, Yansa TV. And this is what drew me to their thing. If you listen to this gentleman, because these are people who are in the farms, who raise chickens, and who talk to insiders on a consistent basis. And they also have a nice little series about farmers and stuff like that. But all in all, I like the channel. I like the folks that are running it. I like their message and stuff like that. So I decided to say, let me share this with my viewers. If you happen to go over there and check any of that stuff, say, hey, Grey sent you. He would love to have you on the channel. I love interviewing folks like this because they do interviews as well, and they do these specials. And I would love to get involved with these type of individuals because they have such a great message, such great information in regards to things that are going on in either preparedness community, homesteading, gardening, meat and poultry, food, so many good stuff. All right, so that's that. Now let me bring up my main thing here. So let's start with this. And let me switch this so I can see your guys' comments. What's up, Chief? Good to see you. Karen says, been watching them for 2 years. That's awesome, Karen. Allison Sherman says, good channel. Sam still has chicken thighs at 98 cents a pound. Wow, Jure, that's pretty cheap. I'm trying to look. What's up, Rolling Homestead? Good to see you, brother. I haven't seen you in a while. You doing all right? Yarn, yeah, better late than never, Yarn. All right, so let's dive into it, right? Let's see what's going on. It says poultry farms on high alert, 28 million U.S. birds dead from avian flu since February. And like I said, I think some of these numbers are being unreported. It says a serious outbreak of the bird flu is threatening the United States poultry inventory. Since it was first detected in commercial flocks in February 22, some 28.2 million domestic birds have died from highly pathogenic avian influenza, according to spokesman for the U.S. Department of Agriculture, Animal and Plant Health Inspection Services. Some died from infection while others have been euthanized. And there's a lot more euthanization going on than we would assume. Anyways, it says once the virus is detected in a backyard flock or commercial farm, because this is also affecting folks who raise chickens. Let's say some of you homesteaders out there, or even some of you urban homesteaders out there that have a small flock in your neighborhood. And I'm going to show you a map of states where this is affecting heavily versus where it might not be affecting other people's mouth. Now, also, price of chickens have gone up. Tractor Supply. I think Pure Blood was talking about this, and several others had brought it to my attention. So I went to the local Tractor Supply and asked them what's up with their chickens. And they're finding the supply of getting baby chicks and whatnot is a little bit more complex because of all the things that are transpiring with this whole situation. Anyways, it says the entire flocks must be depopulated. That could be 3 birds or millions. For example, 2 large Iowa operations located in Osceola and Buena Vista counties depopulated their farms in March. Each had more than 5 million chickens. The outbreak has spread to 29 states. Utah identified cases in some backyard flocks this week, and Pennsylvania announced on April 16th that an egg farm with 1.4 million chickens in Lancaster County was the first in the state to detect HPAI and to start depopulation of its entire flock. So how many folks, I don't know how many of you guys folks went into the Easter situation. But anyways, this also in USA Today says Easter eggs price hike. Bird flu inflation causes egg prices to rise ahead of holiday Passover. Now, I can't see chat, so I'm going to try to keep on glancing over every once in a while. What's up, Van City, Bonnie, Sandra, Jean, his sweetie, every once in a while to make sure that I can kind of focus on that. But I'm going to try. What's up, Drop? I'm going to try to focus on what I'm talking about, and then we can get into chat afterwards. Anyways, it says Easter egg price hike ahead of the holiday Passover. So there was a big situation in regards to Easter eggs. And here's what I wanted to discuss in regards to this price hike. It says egg prices are expected to continue to rise just in time for Easter. So this has already happened. I think this was, when was this article done? This was done April 5th. So early in the month, about 2 weeks ago. Anyways, what I wanted to focus on this specific article is where was it at? Why did egg prices go up? That's that's where I wanted to focus on, because some people say, hey, I can find eggs for pretty cheap. Other people are telling me eggs have gone up, 30, 40, 50% in their areas. And also some of the pictures that you guys have sent me have also showed me that some of the egg shelves in your areas have been wiped clean, or the supply is diminished. Anyways, this is egg prices typically see a spike in late March to early April, depending on when Easter falls, as demand increases, because everybody wants to color their eggs. Everybody wants to make deviled eggs and all that fun stuff like that, right? Often holiday, now check this out. Often the holiday is when retailers discount eggs. So usually retailers are discounting eggs around this holiday, but the average weekly price for eggs, large eggs, is 44% higher than this time last year, according to USDA data. 44% higher. You're almost paying double. And some people say, well, I used to pay $1.49 for eggs. Now I'm paying $3 for eggs. It's not that big of a deal. But yes, think about that. You're buying, let's say you buy a dozen eggs for $1.49 last year, and you're almost paying $3 this year. So you could be having 2 dozen eggs versus a dozen eggs. You have to put this in perspective of how this can affect us long term. And there's, like I said, there's much more to this. And I'm going to bring all that to wrap this up into a nice little bundle here to explain what I mean by there is much more to this. Anyways, that's where I wanted to grab from that. I'm going to start Xing these out as I'm going. So anyways, it says, however, H5N1, which is the technical term for it, is a rapidly evolving virus notorious for frequent mutations. We've heard of this before, regardless if it's a narrative, regardless if it's fact or fiction. Mutations, mutations, mutations. That's all we hear. We've been hearing that over the last 2 years. Anyways, no different than this one. And that's, the life of a virus in general is mutations. So there is some fact there. It says, with that in mind, some experts worry that the continued spread among birds could give the virus a better chance to mutate and infect humans more readily. So that was the key takeaway from that. It possibly can mutate and infect humans. Now, someone says there's no cases of it ever infecting humans. I decided to dig a little deeper, and there was an article back when this, what year was it? 2014, 2015, when there was an avian flu outbreak, and over in Russia, out of all places, a few farmers did have got infected. And I've also heard somewhere in China that they also reported an infection, or is that what you want to call it? Yeah, infected by this thing. So there's information out there. I don't know how credible it is, but these are things that I've come across doing the research on this material. Anyways, where was I at? So it says this kind of evolution is how we get to new strains of Charlie Victor. Some people may also be at higher risk of infection, poultry farmers, for example, or other individuals with frequent exposure to birds. But if you're worried about contracting bird flu, though, say a chicken tender, that is not likely to happen. So, I mean, if you eat chicken, if you are eating infected chicken, you won't get it because, as with anything, just like when you boil water, it kills the bacteria and stuff like that. Or when you cook things, that usually kills viruses and bacteria and so on and so forth. Now, this is also going to talk about the bird flu affect the global supply chain. I don't really want to go into that too much because this is outdated. This is a little bit outdated. I think this one was, when was this one done? This one was done in March because there's been more news in regards to that article because it is affecting the supply chain. Let's kind of look at the map. Let's kind of see what states are being affected by this avian flu and this whole situation in regards to shortages of eggs or eggs and chicken and whatnot. So I'm using this map here, as you can see here, and you can see the states in red are where the chicken shortage is affecting most. So if you live in California and Oregon, I think, what is this? Idaho, Nebraska. I might get it wrong. You know what I mean? I'm not special. Wisconsin. Okay. Wisconsin, the northeastern region. You got some of this Virginia, North Carolina, Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Florida. We're facing more a cream cheese shortage. Go figure, right? If you like cream cheese and you live in Florida, you're going to be in a different situation. And I don't understand this whole thing here. Hot Cheetos shortage. I really don't care about hot Cheetos. I don't know why that, but what I'm focusing on is this whole chicken situation. So you can see where this here is affecting the majority of the situation of this avian flu, which is the heartland of the United States. This is as of February 22nd or 2022 as well. So just to show you that little bit, how that's affecting and where it's affecting. So some of you folks that might live in different areas are not maybe seeing it as as detrimental to your area versus other areas, and why some people are not seeing eggs as much or seeing an increase in poultry. But eventually it will follow suit because as the rest of us deal with it, it starts to expand. And remember, just last year, was it the UK and stuff like that, where they were euthanizing chickens left and right. So it's just not something that's in the United States. It's just not something that's in the UK. This is somewhere everywhere. So basically, the way they're discussing this is that it's from wild birds and the droppings that wild birds leave that get into your flock, be it on major farms and whatnot. Now, some of the major farms, even the folks that I've talked to here locally, are trying to house their chicken indoors. Well, that's creating a whole new issue in regards to the way certain states are going to be labeling the eggs. It's a really complicated situation. Maybe some of you folks understand that. I didn't know if you raise chickens indoors or outdoors, what the big deal was, other than people like free range chickens, and because we've seen those factories and things they do to chickens and whatnot. Anyways, it says egg prices are surging because of major disease, and it's not Charlie Victor. It says the wholesale price of a dozen eggs cost less than $2 on average just 4 months ago. But according to data from the U.S. Department of Ag, last week, a carton of 12 eggs today cost $2.95, and that's up on the rise. Overall, an average weekly price of large eggs is up 44% compared to last year, according to the USDA, which I kind of went over just a second ago. It says the reason is a massive avian flu outbreak has spread through the U.S. Poultry population since January. Over the past few months, nearly 27 million. They're a little off, 28.2 million as of yesterday. Chickens and turkeys. So this is affecting turkeys. We shall see what happens this November when it comes to Thanksgiving and whatnot. We were looking at it last year, just due to the supply chain. And that's the scary fact, folks, is when you look at something like this, think about all the issues that we've had in regards to rising food costs, the supply chain, and so on and so forth. And I don't know if Joyce is in chat. What's up, Farmer Son? Forrest, Miss Bella, Unbroken. I just saw a couple names in there. I wanted to say hello to some of you folks out there. We've seen the situation evolve, you know what I mean? And this is just compounding that. Now, I want to look, I should have brought this up before I got into this, but I'm curious about the drought this year. Are we going to see major droughts this year? Some people have said that there's already spots in the U.S. that are already facing drought-like conditions. And is that going to be continual throughout the summer season when we get into the really dry season? Anyways, let me see. The avian flu has now spread beyond poultry farms and is affecting populations of wild birds nationwide. Last week, it was responsible for his deaths of more than 200 birds in Lake Illinois. And here's what I want to focus on. 36 bald eagles in as many as 14 states. 14 states, bald eagles. So I'm going to jump over here. Where was it? This, to me is, man, this is rough. Just because the bald eagle represents America. It's that symbol, that symbolization of America, right? That strength, that power, the eagle. This is an amazing creature. Avian flu is killing bald eagles across 14 states. Most of us are focusing on the chickens and turkeys because that's our food. But I wanted to draw your attention to this too, because this is symbolic of the United States and America. Anyways, it says the flu infecting birds nationwide is being blamed for the deaths of bald eagles in 14 states. Avian influenza has affected a majority of species as it spread through Americans' bird population, but now it's attacking a national symbol of the United States. You're talking just about an amazing creature who is the top of the food chain, who got to 6-foot wingspan, who everybody stops and still looks at when they see one in the wild, something that is highly engaging in the public. Dr. Victoria Hall, Executive Director of Raptor Center of the University of Minnesota. Anyways, the bald eagle has been a national bird of the United States since 1782, lives only in North America, and represents strength and dignity. So that was pretty heartbreaking to say the least. While I was digging into the story, I ran into another story. We always hear green energy. We always hear windmills, these wind farms, right? And so while I was reading this story, I came across another story that kind of actually made me upset and agitated me, because they always talk about making more wind farms, you know, green energy and all this BS, right? Well, I don't know if you guys know this, but it says wind energy company kills 150 eagles in U.S., pleads guilty. So these windmills that these wind farms have are killing the symbol of America. Maybe that doesn't mean much to some folks, but it means a lot to me. It says Billings, Montana, a wind energy company was sentenced to probation and ordered to pay more than $8 million in fines and restitution after at least 150 eagles were killed over the past decade. And its wind farms in 8 states, federal prosecutors said Wednesday. New Extra Energy subsidiary ESI Energy pleaded guilty to 3 counts of violating the Migratory Bird Treaty Act during Tuesday court appearance in Cheyenne, Wyoming, and it was charged with the deaths of eagles at 3 of its wind farms in Wyoming and New Mexico. Anyways, that kind of really irked me, right? All right, so moving on. Let me see. Where did they put the wind blades? And they aren't anymore. Dump them. Agreed. What's up, Texas T? Van City. I don't know. I think I said what's up, Van City. Joni. Poor country living. All you amazing people. Truly appreciate you guys being here. Georgia. This is how you know things are getting crazy, right? Now, some people say this is just a ploy because the primaries are coming around the corner. And they're saying that, you know, Kemp is using this as a political ploy in regards to gaining, votes, right? Regardless, just think about this. If we start seeing this start to spread across the United States, maybe he's thinking ahead of the game. I don't know. Regardless or not, Georgia governor has declared a supply chain state of emergency. Who would have thought we would ever see that, right? A state, sorry, something's in my eye. A state has declared a state of emergency in regards to the supply chain, which of course gives the governor emergency powers. This is and I got it from Freight Waves. I like to look at the companies like this versus news channels because they're a little bit more honest when it comes to this type of material. Anyways, it says Georgia Governor Brian Kemp has declared what has described as a supply chain state of emergency, thus becoming the first governor to respond in such manner to the state's supply chain challenges. Kemp's executive order, which goes into effect Saturday, which was a few days ago, and runs till May 16th, bans price gouging on goods and services such as diesel fuel and gasoline. It allows trucks with gross vehicle weights, tractor, trailer, and freight of up to 95,000 pounds with a maximum width of 10 feet to operate on Georgia state and local roads. The state's current gross vehicle weight limit is 80,000 pounds with a maximum width of 5-axle truck is 8 feet 5 inches. The order issued Thursday does not apply to trucks operating on the parts of the interstate highway system that run through Georgia. I thought that was interesting. That was inside this declaration. And he says, there was an unsuccessful, and I wanted to bring this to attention because California, we love talking about California and the state and the powers that be that run that state. Excuse me. It says there was an unsuccessful attempt in California last year to force Gavin Newsom to declare a state of emergency. Newsom issued an executive order in October to address the state supply chain problems, but he didn't invoke the state emergency powers. So Kemp was the first to get it through and invoke emergency powers in regards to this. And at the bottom of this article, it says it's unclear to what practical. That's the key thing here is where it says it's unclear as to what practical economic impact the order will have. Kemp, as a Republican, is up for re-election this fall and may be trying to demonstrate to voters that he is responding to the state's supply chain challenges. I'm not a fan of Kemp being what happened in the state of Georgia in during the election season. Not a fan of the gentleman. Maybe there's more to him than I know. I don't know. A lot of people classify him as a rhino, and as into the Republican Party. Right on, Savage. I just happened to catch that out of the corner of my eye. JT, he is a rhino. Thank you. A notice, what is Ostlander just said? A notice how the governor is pointing the finger at truckers. This is a hidden message in the state of emergency. Ostlander, and see, that's what I'm trying to. A great point is it's a weird how the trucking industry is always being attacked. Trucker turnover rate is about 88 to 89% in this country right now. 88 to 89%. That is a massive turnover. And just you think about what's happened to the truckers. We saw, Canada was just the best example of how they were treated, you know what I mean? The Canadian truckers and whatnot. And they did an awesome job, but you can see how Trudeau, what he did to the Canadian truckers, which was just absolutely, people talk about Putin. People talk about, Vladimir Putin, and how evil of a person he is and stuff like that. I can almost, from my perspective, throw Justin Trudeau, in that same group of folks. Just my perspective. You know what I mean? Anyways, one other thing here that I wanted to bring up is it gets better, folks, and that's being sarcastically speaking. Fertilizer producer says UP shipment restrictions could threaten crops. Does it? We're already dealing with the whole situation in Russia. And this is what I mean about the big puzzle, folks. The avian flu is a big key component here, right? The situation over the war, if that's, people like me to say war in Russia and Ukraine, with that whole situation with the fertilizer situation over there, because Russia is a major exporter of fertilizer. And of course, wheat and so on and so forth. We discussed that. I feel like I don't need to be repetitive with you folks. A lot of you guys watch me on a consistent basis. So, I can get a bit repetitive sometimes, but so that's one piece of the puzzle. Now, I also want to talk about, before I get into this, well, actually, let me do this first and then I'll finish up with what I'm going to get into. Anyways, it says, let's get to the article. It says, Deerfield, Illinois, Union Pacific's plan to begin metering traffic as of today will curtail fertilizer shipments and put crops at risk, a major fertilizer producer says. So Union Pacific is not going to be delivering fertilizer. Now, Joyce, I don't know if Joyce is in chat. Thank you, Ostlander. I'm glad I'm not the only one. Joyce had sent me something from the Gateway Pundit, but I had already been looking into this. This is off trains.com. Like I said, I like to go to the source. News articles are great, but sometimes going to the source, like FreightWaves, because they deal with the trucks, trains.com, they deal with the trains. So I like to go directly to the source to kind of get away outside of the BS bureaucracy and politics sometimes that some other articles will use. Anyways, the timing of this action by Union Pacific could not come at a worse time for farmers. CF Industries CEO Tony Will said in a statement on Thursday, not only will fertilizer be delayed by the shipping restrictions, but additional fertilizer needed to complete spring applications may be unable to reach farmers at all. By placing this arbitrary restriction on just a handful of shippers, Union Pacific is jeopardizing farmers' harvest and increasing the cost of food for consumers. So we have inflation. We have the situation, the war in Ukraine and Russia. We have a critical supply infrastructure crisis. We have the avian flu. And now we have a Union Pacific rail system not wanting to deliver fertilizer, which farmers need for this year's crops, for the spring. This is where we're at. We are in planting season. So remember when I told you folks, out there, I said, we'll really see what's going to happen in this country by the time the harvest season begins, because the way it's adding up, it doesn't look good, folks. That's why I want to say I'm not in a panic, but I'm in a higher gear in regards to prepping more food. My main concern is if this goes sideways, if there is another event or another situation that happens to arise coming down the pipe, will it obliterate the already fragile system that we're in? And we can talk about a lot of different things, but food is an absolute necessity for you and your family. And if you can see how all this is leading up to a major disruption, if it's already not, it's already being disrupted, but a critical, let's not major, let's go critical, critical disruption of our crops and our food system, we're going to be in dire situations. Folks are going to be put in a situation I would not want to ever see people in, especially the American people. And anyways, it's just a scary situation. And of course, it says the cost of food and consumers and stuff like that. So of course, we will always be paying the cost. And due with inflation, our checks, our money is not going as far as it used to be. I have one more article I want to go over, but I'll save that for last. Let me bring this down. I can see you guys a little bit better. And see chat a little bit better. You move this over. Man, chat is moving fast. Hopefully it'll slow down. How many people do we have now? We have 228 awesome people in chat tonight. If you haven't hit that thumbs up button and you got any value out of this, please hit the thumbs up button. I truly appreciate that. What's up, Peaceful Acre Farm? Fluffy Otter, good to see you. Busy Girl, guess who bought a lot more rail lines last year? Right on, Busy Girl. We're going to be in a bad shape at the end of the year, aren't we? Eating last year's crops. Sea bass, yes, you're absolutely right. It's always a year behind. I don't know if you guys, a lot of you folks who watch me also watch Alaska Prepper, Rudy, and he's been diving into a lot of this information as well. Between all of us, you should be able to get a good picture of what we expect. What's up, Cherokee? We should be able to get a good picture of what's going to happen because it's scary. Now, I see some folks out there talking about different things. I'm going to do a video. Maybe I can get it done tomorrow in regards to some pros and cons of different types of food that you could stock. But my main concern is that it's all going to culminate into like a really debilitating situation that's going to affect us, the American people. Third world countries, they're already seeing the hit. I was looking at some things in Africa and other parts of the globe. They're already starting to face starvation. China, of course, you guys have seen that whole situation. What's up, Empress Kimberly? And you, Julie F says Azure burned down. Brandon is bringing back the World War II factories to ramp up. Yes, I was watching Prepper Now. He had talked about Azure because Azure was a nice thing where you can get, let's say, if you like organic food, you more natural food. They even have a place where they drop off here locally. I've used Azure as well, and it's crazy that that's happening. Matter of fact, I thought for a minute in Las Vegas the Walmart was on fire, and I wanted to bring that to everybody's attention. But after you don't want to jump on a news story until you get all the facts. That's the problem with YouTube, is people will jump on something without doing a little bit of research and come to find that the fire in Las Vegas, the Nevada Walmart. The Walmart itself wasn't on fire. They evacuated the store, and it was a shipping container or something in the back that was on fire. It wasn't the Walmart that was on fire like the last one we talked about. So I didn't want to talk about that too much because the Walmart was still functional even after that. They evacuated everybody and then resolved the fire, and there was some damage and stuff like that, but it wasn't critical like the last Walmart that was on fire. His sweetie, you're absolutely right. Yes, Oslander, agreed. Right here, Os. I'm getting well versed, my friend. Just dropped a bunch of stuff. I'm getting well versed in the biblical sense in regards to things, into all the information that the good book has to offer in regards to things that we're seeing transpire across the globe. A lot of people, they get upset if I try, not get upset, but they like, don't tell me you're one of those. Don't tell me you're that type. Don't tell me, you're one of the folks that, that say that the world is ending and scripture and raptures and all that stuff like that. And I'm like, look, man, you, as a person, have the freedom of choice to decide if you want to listen, if you want to read that book, or if you want to go by science and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I feel people shouldn't bash anybody for whatever beliefs that they have. Just like on a YouTube platform, people don't have to come and watch Grey speak for an hour. People choose to do so. And that's why I love you guys, because you guys have chosen to hang out with me a bit and chew it for a bit, you know what I mean? And just kind of talk about what is transpiring in the globe and in the world, especially here in the US. Yeah, Mitten Prepper. I get weird stuff all the time. I run into all different sorts of people. Majority, I say 95% of the people I run into are amazing people. They love to hear what I have to say, and so on and so forth, and at least get my point of view. And that's what I like about humankind is that as a species, we like to communicate with one another and share information because it gets us better informed in regards to whatever the topic may be. Yes. Right, Minuteman 69. Better you said it than me, right? Better that you said it to you. It's not crazy more if you understand what's happening. Better to accept. Yes, I agree, D14. Anyways, yeah, third world is gonna. My heart goes out to a lot of folks because there's nothing that they can do. Their governments and these third world governments. Have you guys seen the fighting? Matter of fact, I've touched on where I wanted to touch on in the avian flu. Oh, the last part I wanted to bring about that is our southern border. Some people are talking about it. I don't know if you noticed, a group of governors have, what did they call it? A group of governors have got together. I think it was, I know DeSantis and Abbott and a few others have gotten together and created the border task force because the federal government has fallen to the wayside. They are not protecting our country the way it should be. In the Constitution, it states technically what's happening at the southern border. If you interpret the Constitution the way it's written, it states that this is an impeachable offense. We're supposed to be able to protect our borders, but the federal government and whatever his name is, you know who I'm talking about, is not doing his job. And there's a specific section in the Constitution. I can't quote it specifically, and I don't want to get that wrong. But anyways, the southern border, we are being invaded at the southern border. So they say by the end of this year, there'll be several million more people, migrants, illegally crossing the border. And you guys know how I feel about the border. If you're a legal immigrant and you follow the process and get vetted to come to this country, awesome, because America was built on migrants or immigration and whatnot. People came over from the UK. People came up from all different parts of Ireland and so on and so forth. This is how this country was built. But illegally doing it is a scary fact because they're saying over several million people will be entering in this country illegally by the end of this year. And it's a crisis. So here's where I'm looking at. The food situation is already scarce for where it's at, right? So now we have millions more people to try to feed in this country. Millions of more people that are probably going to get on the welfare system illegally by pulling some, you know how the welfare system is. They're going to cater to those folks. I mean, look at them. They give them phones. They give them this. They give them that. And we have, I see vets on the side of the road. People that have, spilt blood for this country and, or died for this country and have family that's died for this country, and they're homeless, they're starving, and they die every day. But are we focusing on them? No, we're focusing on the southern border, or we're not focusing on the southern border per se, right? All these people are coming in illegally and they're focusing on giving them all the free stuff, housing and food and transportation and cell phones and all this other stuff like that. Sorry, I saw something that grabbed my attention. What's up, Anita? I can say the last part. Angels arrived. Good to see you. Snakebite. I agree 100%. It's a big mess at the border. We'll see what the governors do. The governors have created this task force, a border task force, to try to alleviate the situation and try to, in their own sense, secure our borders because the federal government won't do so. And it just doesn't make sense unless this is what they want. They have this belief that, you know, I guess I don't want to go down the tangent of the whole voter thing, but, you know, illegal people being able to vote and they're going to vote for them. So I'm really curious how the primaries play out. I don't know if anybody's going to play nice in it. I don't know what's going to happen, if we're going to see a lot of, you know, fraud and deception. If we're going to see, who knows what we're going to see this year in November. Right, Mitten? That's funny. That's great. Anyway, sorry I get sidetracked. But anyways, it's another piece of the puzzle that's creating an already dire situation. Kind of get where I'm going with this, folks? There's so many pieces to this puzzle, and when you put it all together, all you see is national emergency. And it's all has to come down to the food supply. That's why I'm on kind of like high alert, you know, I'm packing buckets. I'm making more room for different types of foods. And I'm just increasing my stockpiles. Worst case scenario, I have a surplus, more than I need, which would be beneficial. And people always ask me, you know, let's change gears here, because we got about 15 or so minutes left. Let's change gears real fast. I want to speak about the conversation I had. What's up, Vera? Thank you, Harvey, for that. Hello, Vera. Good to see you. Thanks for hanging out with us, Vera. Thorhaven, I agree. More mason jars, more lids, the more food, the merrier. Don't forget about ways to purify water and food, medical supplies, all the good stuff, man. The key components to being successful, you know. Homeless population is growing and they get no help, but no problems helping the illegals. Ghosty, I agree. That's the thing. And some people don't want to hear that. People say, oh, you're just mean. You don't get it. You don't understand. I do. I know people that have had that. I know many people from different countries. Okay. I'm Cuban. Most people know I'm Cuban. I have still family in Cuba that kind of, you know, feed me information when they can. It's not as easy. It's a little easier than it used to be, but I have friends and family all around the globe, especially my brothers in arms. And we all share a lot of information outside of YouTube. And it's just not fair. It's just not fair for the folks. I mean, look what Corn Pop just did. He's canceling what, I forget how many student loans. Why didn't he cancel my student loan? When I went to college, why didn't he cancel one of my student loans? My GI Bill paid for my first part of my college, and I got my first degree. But when I went for my second degree, I had to take a loan out. I had to pay that back. It took me 5 years, but I had to pay that back for my education. Empress Kimberly, you're absolutely right in being concerned about that. The whole situation in Shanghai and in China in general is getting really out of hand. There's going to, you know, right now we see a slow, as I like to call it, a slow burn into the supply chain, because our supply chain is obliterated. It's just getting worse and worse over time. But the exports from China have pretty much almost stopped. Some people say, no way, man, I can still get my Chinese stuff at Walmart. Yeah, you have to understand, for years and years and years, companies like Walmart and other major retailers, they stockpile goods, right? And as you have noticed, they're starting to dwindle down. So these stockpiles are getting thin. If they don't get resupplied soon, they just won't have. People are starting to see limitations on stuff, limitations on how many eggs you can buy, limitations on different types of gear that you can buy. Matter of fact, someone had sent me a picture. I forget, man, I wish I could remember what state. They were only allowed to buy 2 cases of mason jars or ball jars at a time. So some people say, well, just go back the next day. Well, what about if they're not there the next day? What about if everybody has the same mindset as you and they're trying to stock up on some jars or some lids or whatnot? Like I said, it affects every state, every county, every city differently. But don't worry, it will knock on your door eventually, because that's just the way the cookie crumbles. Let me see here. Right on, Savage. They will be out by June. Thanks, Miss Bella. Minuteman 69. You got, you're hilarious, man. At least, you know, I like the, this is what I love about you, the community, is when I want to feel happy, I come here and do a live stream, because I love interacting with you. you folks. You guys are great people. You guys, all the support that you give to the channel. That being said, so a lot of you folks have asked. Thorhaven says they have restricted butter here in Quebec, like the dairy capital of Canada. WTF? Right on. Flutterbell prepping. That's a good idea. I never thought about that. That's a good one. Self checkout. Yeah, because, but someone did tell me that some of the Walmart, I call them the Walmart police, the folks in the yellow jackets are trying to watch that stuff. I don't know. We'll see how it plays out. But good point. What's up, Dobby? Good to see you. On the college tuition loans. We great non-binary people. Right on, Unbroken. Anyway, so some of you folks want to know about the emergency preparedness conversation that I had with my congregation that the pastor let me have on Easter Sunday with people. So there was about 17 to 19 people that decided to stay after Easter services that evening to listen to me have a discussion in regards to emergency preparedness. Now, out of those 17 or 19 or so, 9 out of the 9 people ages between 45 and 65 were really intrigued. They really wanted to know. Here is the problem. You should say, people are like, Grey, what you think there would be more of a number? Why only half of those people really cared, versus, what happened to the other folks? A lot of folks kept on bringing up that every time they come on YouTube, when they hear the word prepper or anything like that, it's full of fear. It's full of trying to sell you something. It's this, it's that. So it makes them not want to engage in emergency preparedness because they feel that they come across channels. Of course, the larger the channel, the more influence it has. And sometimes, they try to watch it and try to engage with the channel. They'll try to drop a comment, ask a question, and they don't get a response. They watch the channel and all it does is preach fear. You're going to die. You better do this now, buy this, do that. The world is ending and stuff like that. So a lot of people have that view of anything with prepper attached to it. So I hear people in group discussions. I'm a very, I'm a lurker. So I lurk on Reddit forums, on the prepper Reddit forums, and they'll say stuff like, well, this channel's this way, this channel's that way. This channel's not family friendly. And I kind of read some of their stuff. And luckily my name's never mentioned. I guess I'm too small. I'm a speck of dust on the YouTube verse of things, but, and they discuss these larger channels and what they feel about them and what they think. And it's interesting to read what they say. They say, don't watch prepper channels. Go to gardening channels, go to homesteading channels, go to channels like that. You'll get better information outside of preppers. And it really kind of, I would say when I say it hurts me, but it worries me because yes, there's homesteaders with great value information. There's gardeners with great valuable information, but emergency preparedness or a prepper have value too. Unfortunately, the name prepper has been tarnished over the last few decades with, with stupid TV shows and hit pieces by like companies like Vice and stuff like that. And it sucks because we have something to offer us. A lot of people are preppers that don't even know that they're preppers. And they don't like the name prepper. Anybody who gets a little extra food, who stores water, who does some of the things that we do are preppers. Anyways, I guess let me get to the point, right? I'm just kind of rambling on. My apologies. So out of these 9 people, they exactly us. Flutterbell, yes, Flutterbell. I do miss Tim a lot. Tim, every Sunday someone asked me in my congregation, in my church, we talk about Tim. I've showed people his channel, and Tim was a great guy, and just an awesome soul. And he is definitely a someone who we're definitely always going to miss. Anyways, to the 9 people that stayed, they wanted more information. So I showed them my Discord. I showed them some of my videos. We sat down and had a longer conversation, and we're going to do a follow-up discussion. Some of them asked them if I can come to their home and help them organize their pantry, if I can help them on what to buy, if I can help them how to store rice and stuff like that. So I try to refer them to the channel. Some of them said they're going to follow me, but they want some hands-on because some of the folks are a little older, and they would like for me to physically show them how to do something. And they're, being that they're local, I'm going to try to do my best to work with these people because I want everybody to have a chance at success, at survival. And that's just my goal. My goal here, the whole reason to create a channel, and they asked me that, like, hey, how much time do you put into your YouTube? Are you making money off YouTube? And stuff like that. And I said, no, you don't make money. Eventually people do make money on YouTube. I can't say that. But I don't make money to the point where, I'm going to leave all my jobs. My wife's quitting her job and we're living the lavish life off YouTube income. And it does. Let me say, for instance, the video that I did yesterday on Medicinal Monday, took about 4 hours, to put my research together, put my notes together, produce the video, edit it, upload it to YouTube and all that fun stuff. And I think we're like around 3,000 views. The information is extremely valuable, but is not as important as the world's ending, if you kind of get my drift. And I don't understand why people don't gravitate towards, how to grow potatoes, how to grow tomatoes, and just gardening in general. How to, put a bag together, there's so many different things. And medicinal plants is such an important key asset to emergency preparedness. Because what about if you're a diabetic? What about if you have certain ailments and you cannot live without the medications that you're on? There's going to be an instance where you're going to have to depend on Mother Nature, aka the medicinal plants. And that's why I wanted to come back to create that concept on Mondays. Now, let me be honest with you folks. Every Monday, I might not be able to do that. I'm going to be doing it. Might be every other week. I just have a lot of stuff on my plate, and a lot of companies are hounding me for the reviews they want me to do on their products. Not that that's a bad thing. It's a good thing. That's what I enjoy about YouTube is getting gear and getting to test gear that I never had a chance to do so in the past. That's my perk of having a channel. So I have to help. I have to, do that for those folks. So every once in a while, I might, like I said, do the Medicinal Mondays. I'm going to keep on doing them, but I'm going to be doing them. I might not be doing them every single Monday. I might have a different video drop on a Monday, then the following week, follow up with another medicinal plant video. Yeah, right, Minuteman. Coffee is a huge prep. I'm working on a video on it has to do with coffee and some other things in regards to preparedness. Stay survived. People says people want that dopamine rush of doomer porn, not solutions. Yeah, unfortunately, that's what sells. Fear sells. Scaring people, drawing on their emotions of fear. That's what gets clicks. That's what sells. Do you notice the thumbnail that I used today? I did a little research on thumbnails. I know some of you guys are like, well, we're way off topic. That we are. But I appreciate you guys still hanging with me. I'm trying to watch the time. It says when you create a thumbnail, it should invoke emotion. So if you looked at my thumbnail carefully, it says the word dead. You know what I mean? 28 million dead with a hand pointing to the word dead. You know what I mean? So people are like, what does he mean? 28 million dead. Some people know, but other people who are unfamiliar with what was going on might see that thumbnail and be like, 28 million dead chickens. What is he talking about? And click on it. You know what I mean? Now they might watch, they might subscribe, or they might like, oh, this is garbage, and move past it. You know what I mean? Some people cannot sit through an hour of someone talking. They want excitement. They want drama. They want, special effects and all the, bells and whistles. This is just a conversation with people in the preparedness community. Some people don't understand that. That's why I enjoy the live streams to kind of get a view of I appreciate that, Snakebite. I like to do the live streams because it lets me know what's on your guys' mind. And if I'm on the same page as you and you're on the same page as me, which 99% of the time we are. Oki Khan, yes, I agree that they're great. If it had only been one person, that I had the discussion at church with, and they would have said, hey, I would like to know more, I would be happy with that. 9 people was awesome. was truly an awesome thing, to be honest with you, because that's 9 more people that are going to be prepared for them themselves and their family. I think that's really awesome. Sorry, I was just reading something in chat. Anyways, where was I going to go? And another scary thing, I was, things are popping in my head as we're speaking and or having this conversation, right? I'm speaking. And I don't understand why the news cycles don't ever focus on when they're talking about the border. Do you guys know that there's been 23 people detained at the border that have terrorist ties? One from Saudi Arabia, one from Yemen, and places like that. So they've caught 23 people over the last year or so that have terrorist ties. To me, that's mainstream news. Let me ask you this. Let me ask you folks this. How many people did the 9/11 situation involve? You know what I mean? How many pilots, I want to say pilots, but how many people took to fly that plane into that building? So to me, 23 is a large number. When I look at, I try to look at things beyond the big picture. What's up, Rudy? Good to see you as well. So I look beyond that picture. So if they've caught 23 terrorist people with terrorist ties at the southern border, how many have gotten through? Will we see an expectation down the road of something else bad happening here on U.S. soil, which is a very scary thought. I'm the type of person that always goes a little bit further and dives a little bit deeper than just the headline and the research that I see. And that's exactly what I'm saying, Minuteman. And Ghosty, you're absolutely right. There's over, like I told you, I think I said it on a previous live stream, over 154 or 157 different countries are crossing through the U.S. border, the southern border. Just imagine that. So you're absolutely right. We just don't know who's coming over, who is illegally making that crossing. They may be catching some, but not all. So that's another aspect of what could happen down the road that's coming down the pipe. So there's a lot of things that we need to look at when it comes to this grand scheme of things. And my main concern is just being prepared for it. So again, back to the whole congregation at church, having those 9 people have interest in emergency preparedness I was elated. I was blessed to have that conversation, and it actually hit home with some of these folks. You can only do so much, right? And trying to get people to understand what's happening and to take the mask off, or to take the blinders off, and to see that we are in a severe crisis and it's only getting worse. I don't see anything. I haven't read anything that says that things are going to get better. There's always some sugarcoating done in the news media when it comes to, well, the bird flu will subside here in the winter months, or no, in the summer, because whenever there's heat, it'll go away. That's what the newscasters are running. Well, we're looking at this whole bird flu. There's a big situation with that, but as soon as the summer comes, it'll dissipate. Excuse me. Well, what about the what ifs? The what ifs, like what if it mutates to a point where it does well in the heat? What if it wipes out so many birds that it cripples the industry to a point where there's going to take them a couple of years to recoup? Because you have to always look at that. What are the long-term effects of any situation? What are the long-term effects of our farmers not getting the fertilizer that they need for this growing season? What are the long-term effects of the Russia-Ukraine situation, the avian flu? You can't live in the now. You have to go a little bit beyond of what you see. That's what I prep for. I prep for now, but I also prep for the long term, because everything, when I go out in public and I look around and I see everybody living their daily lives and stuff like that, and I always wonder, do they have enough food in their home? Are they ready for something to happen? And people say, well, you can't live your life that way. I don't. This is a lifestyle for me. prepping is a lifestyle for me. I choose to live this way for insurance purposes of the fact that if anything ever does happen, which it's not even if, it's just when something's always bound to happen, be it small or large, be it, you lose a job, or be it, the economy collapses. And as Rudy says, we will eventually have a civil war or a revolution. It's bound to happen, folks. You can look at it biblically, you can look at it scientifically, you can look at it historically. Things history repeats itself, unfortunately. Even the worst part of history, you know what I mean? And we always like to fall back to what happened to the Roman Empire as they expanded. Empress Kimberly, I've been watching that closely because it's been really quiet lately, and come the fall. But the thing is my concern, what I'm wondering is with the primaries in November, that's when things are going to take place. After the primaries and after the election cycle is over, I think we'll see more of what may transpire. But it may be too late by that point. You know what I mean? Because like I said, by the time this winter hits, we're really going to be able to gauge the situation with our food supply and the supply chain and everything else associated with this whole crisis. Marilyn, you have a good night as well. Actually, I got to wrap it up too. I just realized I'm at an hour. And I know other folks go live at 8 and 9 o'clock. Anyways, I have other stuff that I wanted to show you, but I can save that for Thursday night's stream. I wanted to show you some intriguing stuff, some videos that I found, stuff like that. But if you did get value in this video, I wouldn't mind a thumbs up. It's always appreciated. I know I sound like a machine. Please give me a thumbs up. You don't have to, folks. But all the research I've done, it does benefit the channel. The whole thumbs up things, the whole dropping comments and interacting, watching videos and stuff like that. It's very beneficial to the channel. It does help the channel reach other people. And that's the name of the game, folks, is we need to reach more people. Sorry, I was just looking for something. We need to reach more folks. We want to get more people involved in emergency preparedness. So the more of you out there spreading this message, be it if you have a channel or don't, if you go to church, if you go to gatherings, birthday parties, whatever it may be, maybe you can just speak to someone and just bring something up, because the more people prepared, the better it is for all of us. The less people trying to take our stuff, and the less things that can happen when people try to take your stuff, if you know what I mean. But anyways, folks, I want to say thank you. Thank you all, as always, for being here and sitting with me for this hour. I truly appreciate your time, and look forward to seeing you guys on Thursday night's live stream. I do have a video that I'll be dropping tomorrow, but I'll leave that for a surprise. And other than that, mods, thank you for being here, being friendly. Thank you all. Again, this is GreyMan. I'm out. I'll see you guys in a rebound. God bless. Stay safe out there, please.